Welcome, Lightworkers. This is a transmission that's specifically for those of you that are serving in the world, or maybe you're just emanating a frequency of love in the world. The term Lightworker isn't my favorite term, but what it means is you're really, you have an intention and a focus of emanating your life here on the earth. Hello, Luke. So that means that you understand, or you at least grapple with, this concept of service to self, service to others, and you have the anchored in truth to know that they're one and the same. So when you're a light worker, that means that you accept that it's not like you or this group, or you or this other person, or you or, only one of you can be happy, only one of you can be okay. You realize that it's all interconnected, it's all one. So I called this Lightworker Solstice Prep because what I was given as a clairvoyant imagery was that the Great Flash, I've channeled about the Great Flash many times. We got the first portion of this Great Flash on November 11th. So, and it resulted in a proton radiation storm, which we've done many, maybe you've been to some of the lives I've been doing about that particular event and occurrence. But the solstice is going to be kind of like the November 11th situation, but kind of like on steroids, is the way I'm understanding and feeling into the energies. So it's probably going to be, I'm just asking my guides, and you're saying yes, it's probably going to be another situation where it's like a couple solar flares and then a proton radiation storm. It'll probably be, at least scientifically, or how we're going to observe it. And we're probably, you might want to mark this down, to be on the lookout in December around the solstice. It's possible it'll be like a couple of days before or a couple of days after. It's not an exact science, but we're probably going to have another scenario where we can see northern lights pretty far down. My guides are showing me like similar to the November 11th one, but maybe even further south. Yeah, it's very possible. So if you really like those northern lights, then I would encourage you to maybe check in on the NOAA Space Weather website around the solstice so that you can make sure that you're going to be observing at night the skies. I also want to be really clear that I'm not saying this solstice event is going to be anything to fear whatsoever. It's not. But the thing about these great flash type events is that it's going to work with pockets of energy in your energetic field that you currently are a bit guarded around. So anything that you're like, you have to work through it, basically, or you have to address it, you have to feel it, you have to process it, you've got to do something with something inside of yourself. But you don't do it for whatever reason. There's many varying reasons why you would not. But when these things happen where we're basically getting in a proton influx and the field of the planet is sort of doing this chia seed type thing that I've talked about a lot, where it's kind of like plumped up and out, you're going to be sensing and moving into things that you might resist. So let's start with the dragons. Let's start with some dragons. We have the Archangel Oracle by Diana Cooper and Jane Delaford Taylor. And then we have the Dragon Oracle, which is Diana Cooper and Carla Lee Moreau. I just asked the angels and the dragons to be with us today to receive some messages. Woo! Okay. So we got the royal blue and gold dragon strengthens you to stand in your power with wisdom. Awaken to your own majesty and wear your cloak of power and pride. So this is the question that's coming up. How did you all receive all that incoming energy? Like November 11th to November 13th-ish? How did you receive that? Did it rock your boat? Did it change your perspective? Did it disrupt a process in the body? Did it disrupt a thought process? Did it shake loose some of this programming? What I'm seeing right now is that these big jolty energies that come in and they kind of stir us up and they create something new within us. How are you handling those is the question. How are you handling those? What's your attitude like around that? Are you like, oh, great, more, you know? Or what is your attitude around receiving these waves of energy? Do you kind of tense up? Do you feel overwhelmed? Do you feel like, yay, good, I know that this is helping us and it might be temporary discomfort, but I just would love to know in the comments how our attitudes currently are around these sorts of things. How are our attitudes around this? I feel pretty personally neutral. I know it's going to be a mixed bag every time. Okay, so let me see. This is what okay. Learning and leaning in to receive, allowing and transmuting as it flows through. This dragon's like saying something to me, but I can't figure out what it is, so I'm going to read this. Royal Blue and Gold Dragon. We're going to read this one because it's like my dial inside myself that normally can like attune what a dragon is saying to me to speak in human words. It's like it's not there today. It's really weird. Here we go. Yeah. The dreams are going to amp up. Prepare yourselves. Start having a practice to let what you're receiving in your dreams become fuel for your everyday life. Let whatever dreams you're having become doorways, perspective points into your current life that your ego is likely blocking. We usually want to visit some of these things in the astral because the ego is the one that's stopping the process. So I'm seeing like we're talking about subconscious fears here. So you'll address your subconscious fears in the astral. Typically when your ego in your waking life is becoming a blockade to that process. So, in case you were wondering, that's usually what's happening. It's also why a lot of you will fall asleep when you're getting a healing or maybe even an oracle read. You might fall asleep because your busy mind is getting in the way. And so your higher self will come and help and assist and I'll say tenderize your brain waves so that you can actually receive what you're meant to receive. Royal blue and gold are the colors of majesty, dignity, and illuminated achievement. Royal blue and gold dragons carry these qualities and prompt us to stand in our magnificence and true power. These fifth dimensional dragons come to us when they see royal blue and gold in our aura, indicating that we hold wisdom and power in perfect balance. which has been earned from our connections with the golden era of Atlantis. We may have been incarnate or in spirit at that time, but we were living or serving on a higher path. The dragons will swirl around you, reminding us who we truly are, and breathing light into our energy fields to reawaken our ancient gifts and talents so that we can utilize them once more in service. They will re-energize our cloak of power and wisdom so that we can wear it with pride. A royal blue and gold dragon is lighting up the gifts and talents you carry in your aura. Maybe feel that gently. What's lighting up for you right now? It is breathing courage, support, and dignity into you so that you can wear your cloak of power and wisdom with pride. Most important of all, it is waking you to who you truly are. It is enabling you to radiate your special light. This dragon is always with you. It holds your sword of truth, so Archangel Michael can enable you to speak and act with truth and honor at all times. It roars at those who try to diminish you and befriends those who empower you. You have all the support you need to teach divine majesty by example. So this royal blue and gold dragon is very powerful for speaking your truth. This royal blue and gold dragon is really powerful for those of you that you might have felt like playing small was a safety mechanism, or you might have felt like a fear of your power. A fear of your power. I've got this dragon in my consciousness, and they're showing me the solar plexus in the throat right now. So the solar plexus and the throat. The solar plexus and the throat. They're showing me, okay, I see. They're showing me like a circle. So it's an energy that kind of like goes out the throat, in the solar plexus, out the back, and then into the throat. It kind of goes like this. Or the other way around. Both ways. It flows. Energy is infinite. You've got 30 trillion cells in your body. They're all a wave of energy as seen by the divine. But what I'm seeing right now is some of you are blocked up here. Some of you are blocked up in the back. Okay. So if I were to ask you this question, are you more in fear of the future or the past? So are you afraid of the unknown and what's not predictable? Or are you afraid of that you're going to repeat a pain pattern of the past? So much so that this pain pattern in the past has you fixated on it. Fixated on it. Like staring at the pain of the past. For Krista, it's the unknown. So let's get an angel. Past for you. Okay. I knew we had a combination here. Angels, who can help us with this piece about when we kind of get stuck? We're looking forward, we're looking backward. Which one of you can assist? Three, okay. Archangel Mallory, remember who you are. Take action when you're ready. So I'm seeing some of you, I've said this before, but some of you have had winged embodiments. Some of you have had winged embodiments. Anyone remember these winged embodiments? What's coming up right now? Do you have pain in the back? I see. I'm getting the term clipped wings right now. So what I'm getting right now is, maybe this is Archangel Mallory, although it feels like the whole Archangelic Collective. It's the whole Archangelic Collective. What they're showing me is that, and remember, the archangels are actually not in a form. So we like to see them this way because we know what it is, but they're not actually in a form. However, there are actual angels. There are angels. There are real angels that are in a winged form in the higher realms. Yes, it is true. Yes, it is true. I have seen them many times. Yes, it is true. I have been them many times. Yes, it is true. So, what I'm receiving is that some of you are doing this thing in life where you're going to embody this angelic quality of yours. Maybe it's compassion, maybe it's unconditional love, maybe it's loving kindness, maybe it's an elevated form of empathy where you're not absorbing the other person's motion, but you're transmuting it as you witness it. But when you're embodying these divine qualities, what I'm seeing is you remember, how do I explain this? You remember back to a time when you were embodying those divine qualities and you were hurt for it. So you start to lessen, shrink, pull back, diminish, reduce these divine qualities that are embodying through you because of these memories. So right now we're in a major soul convergence. That is the long and short of it. That's what we're going to be experiencing probably for the rest of our lives as we're here, this convergence. It's that major. It's that all-encompassing. Of course, we're going to move into these things at our own pace on an individual level and a collective level. So let me see if I can get any more words by looking at the words. Okay. Archangel Mallory is the divine feminine complement of Archangel Christiel. She steps her energy down through the healing light of the Pleiades. How many Pleiadian starseeds do we have here? Any of you remember the Pleiades? No? No? Anyone? Anyone? The Seven Sisters? No? Okay. And enters Earth through Bethlehem, while Christiel's retreat is over Jerusalem. These two archangels have always held the Christ light in this part of the world, which is why the divine plan enabled Jesus to bring it in through this location. Archangel Mallory is the keeper of ancient wisdom, not just for this planet, but for this entire universe. So what's coming up right now is that, remember, they're having me do like a little Akashic Records lesson. When you access the Akashic Records, there's many ways to do so. Okay? There's many ways to do so. So some of you are going too big when you access your Akashic Records. Some of you are going too focused when you go to the Akashic Records. When you go to the Akashic Records and access information for yourself, maybe for the world, however you're rolling with this, the Akashic Records is the record of everything, past, present, future, of all, of everything, of all, of everything. It is limitless up there. So it's like, kind of like if you were to go to a giant shopping mall, but you don't know what you're there for. And you're just kind of wandering around. You should have a specific, intention when you're going to these Akashic Records. If you don't, it's going to be like that. It's going to be like you're wandering around and there's every kind of store up there, every single kind of store you could ever imagine, and a bunch of stuff that you're going to see and your mind's going to explode because you're going to go, oh my gosh, there's like every kind of life form out there. So what I would encourage you to do when you go to the Akashic Records is specifically ask, and do your own way with this, but I want to access my soul's Akashic Records for the highest and best good of all. Whatever information is within my soul's Akashic Records for me to access right now, I would like to receive that with love. That's a great way to do it. Some of you will evolve through the process. You'll be accessing your own personal soul's Akashic Records for so many years that you're kind of like, okay, I'm ready to move on. I want to figure out, okay, over there is Galactic Akashic Records. What can I learn over here from this body? There's also human Akashic Records. Okay, what can I learn over here about humans? Because angels and humans and dragons and avians and Pleiadians and Arcturians and Lyrans and Orion starseed, all of these have different realms of experience. So when you try to consider maybe the realm of the angelic realm and then apply it to something from the human realm, you might find a mismatch. You might find that doesn't really jive. So be very, very particular about how you're accessing these Akashic Records so that you can actually benefit from it. And then also know this has been coming up a lot for me, but some of you visit what you believe is a past life, and it's not a past life. Sometimes you're visiting something that is an ancestor's past life. An ancestor's. And for some reason, within this DNA, within this bloodline, within this whatever, it's going to be important for you on your soul's journey to witness something that your ancestors witnessed. So I would be very, very delicate and responsible and discerning with when you visit something that you believe is a past life. Have your guides with you and ask them, is this mine? Or am I witnessing this so that I can learn something about my current life? Because what I see being the problem with past life regression is that you start to develop a story arc about it. And a story arc is not going to get you anywhere good. You're going to start to do things like think your children or your partners or the people you work with are like those same people that were in those other lives that you remember. And that's a distortion. That is going to just take you down a bunch of really complicated paths. I also would be really, really, the guides are with me and they're being a bit stern right now. They're saying sometimes you'll witness Yeshua, or sometimes you'll witness Mary Magdalene, or sometimes you'll witness Kuan Yin, or sometimes you'll witness a collective of Essenes that you were maybe a part of. But we're not gripping and holding on to it and storyalizing it. What we're doing in these processes is surface and subside, surface and subside, surface and subside. If any of this is surfacing and then you're gripping it, it will just aid in adding more distortion to your life. So the other thing I would do is if you're looking to explore past life regression or aspects and facets of the Akashic Records that aren't particularly for you and your soul, ask yourself why. Why am I really doing this? Am I trying to fix an issue in my life? And I find that maybe if I remember this past life, that I'll be able to do it. So get really clear with yourself on why, the why. Because these are not avenues I would encourage any of you to go down without being really, really clear about your why. Sometimes your why will just be that you want to learn, and that's okay, and that's a healthy why. But if your why is something that you're lying to yourself about, the access in the Akash, it won't do it. Searching for who you are. So, you are that you are. You are that you are. No searching is required. It's all right here. It's all right here. You don't need to search for who you are. You are who you are. You don't need to search for your soul or your higher self. You are your soul. You are your higher self. How much you're allowing of your higher self, now that is up to you. Okay, let's do a couple more angels. Oh, I need to stretch. Anyone else need to get a good stretch in? Angel wing stuff, makes me need to stretch that back. Ooh, good. Okay, all right. So let's just see. Okay, so they're getting a little practical now. So what they're saying is, Shasta, okay. So inner earth is going to be a big part of the next 10 years. We're going to basically remember inner earth. Inner earth beings will be mixed with us. And some of us already know this. Some of us are like, what is she saying? New Zealand, hello. Welcome. Okay, so let me just ask the angels. No, they want me to talk about this first. Prep for solstice. Stillness. This is what they're handing me, like a tool bag. I'm going to read what these tools are to prep for this next wave of energies that's going to be coming in December. So I'm receiving, this is a big old group. It's like a monadic family, maybe. Yeah, it's like a monadic soul group that I'm receiving this from. And they're showing me that to prepare for December, it's interesting the way that this is coming through. They're saying we're all going to need to build in more of two things, and they're like complete opposites, so it's a little strange. But they're saying if you want to help yourself to be as strong as possible, you will use more movement to support your vessel, your body, your physical body. More movement. Up your movement practice. I'm not saying like lift harder weights or like stay on the treadmill for 45 minutes longer, but I am saying like make sure you have a movement practice that you're showing up to each day. If it's stretching, if it's yoga, if it's something gentle, that's perfectly all right. But strengthening the body, the muscles, is going to be really powerful because that's going to help those muscles and that strengthening you're doing in the body. It's going to help you integrate the light that's coming in. You're going to be more robust. You're going to be more able to receive. So they're saying more movement, but they're also saying, this is why I was like, what? This is a complete paradox here, but of course that's Earth. They're saying more stillness. More stillness. Judo chop. So basically they want you all to build practices until December. I mean, ideally you're going to build on these and expound over time. But for the sake of this message, take time each day for movement. Take time each day for stillness. and then play with how you're going to work those. Some days you might want to sit in meditation and then do your physical activity. Some days you might want to do your physical activity and then sit in stillness. And also it could be a completely different pattern of these. You could be waking up with the stillness, doing the movement maybe midday, later in the day. See what your intuitive guidance is nudging you towards here, because this should be something that has an ease about it. These practices that I'm asking you to fold in to your everyday life, there should be an ease and an air about it that doesn't feel like something you have to do. So they're kind of like, they're showing me like we're all holding a bag that says I have to do all of this, and they're like slapping it. They're like, stop that. Stop that. No, we're not saying you have all this extra homework. We're saying, no, find a way to enjoy these movement practices. Enjoy it. You get to do it. You get to do it. And for those of you that are like resistant to it, or you're like, oh, I just don't want to. I don't have the energy. I don't want to. Well, in a month from now, you'll be thanking yourself. In a month from now, you're going to be like, whoa. All that time I spent in my movement practices, in my stillness practices, my meditations, my self-care, my listening to the sound baths, my putting on the frequency music, my organizing all those things I have been pushing off, or whatever this is, when December comes around and we get these big waves of energy again, and everyone's kind of like, you know, how humans can be, you're going to feel really prepared and sturdy and fortified and ready. You're going to feel ready. You're going to be like, let's go. But if we skip, from now until solstice, if we skip the movement practices, we skip the stillness, the meditation, then when these waves come through in in December, it's looking to me like we're going to get these big waves are going to be something that is pretty consistent in 2026. But in 2026, what I'm being shown is that we kind of spent 2024, don't skip leg day, Luke. 2024 and 2025, although volatile and wavy and choppy and a lot and ups and downs and a bunch of stuff and a bunch of healing and a bunch of wake-up calls and a bunch of exposure and a bunch of, oh, crap. That's what's been going down on planet Earth. Think about how different we are as a humanity today in what we know of the world and how it functions and how it works and how the powers that be do their little puppet show thing. We know a lot more today than we did, let's say, 2022, 2023. 2022, 2023, we were kind of in a blissful ignorance. And then 2024 and 2025, we're like, bam, 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 here's what the world is. Oh, and also here's AI. So it's been swift. But we've been really fortified to go through this next few years of even more change. Even more change. Change is like the norm. I love all of you too. Please know it is mutual. Please know it is mutual. I really do appreciate all of you. Very much. Okay, so let me see. Oh, we're going to get an angel. 4. Some of you also that are kind of piqued by 3i Atlas, be mindful of the sensationalism that will probably continue to come up around this. Also, NASA tomorrow is like we're doing a big like, everyone watch. Oh, I kind of can't wait to see what that is. I really can't. They're going to air this like 3i Atlas stuff live. It's going to be fun. It's going to be funny. I don't know what they're going to do. I haven't even tried to predict it because I kind of just want to experience it for what it is. Distraction? Yeah, but it's like, what I was trying to mention, but kind of forgot to, like midway, was that I channeled from Three Eye Atlas yesterday on my YouTube, and it was a lot. It was one of the better channelings I've had with it. But it's not a distraction. It's us. It's like a piece of ancient us. Yeah, it's like a piece of ancient us. It's waking up so much memory. It's waking up so much memory. And the delivery system for this is the solar wind. So we received kind of like the first, whoa, it's like a big, it's almost like we went to orientation and they dropped like 17 huge books on the doorstep and we're like, isn't this just supposed to be a packet? Like, can we simplify? I'm kind of just being jokey right now, but also kind of not, because it does feel like a lot. It feels like, oh, hey everyone, you're eternal. Hi. Remember all you are, okay? All the pain, all the joy, all the pleasure, all the stuff that ended terribly and also went off really wonderfully and better than humans can ever even imagine. You're going to remember it all. You're just going to remember it all. It's very, very memory activating. If I'm not tuning into Three Eye Atlas or I'm not asking the Akashic Records and I'm just saying, okay, good luck. I'm just saying from me, that's what I'm sensing. From me as Bree. I'm sensing that the main function it's playing is waking up dormant soul memory. Now, what people will do with that soul memory, that is not up to me. That is up to each one of those beings' free will choice. So we gotta let go of how anyone else is experiencing the remembrance and just focus a bit more on how we are going through that process, because we need to respect sovereignty for everyone. Oh, and we got Zadkiel, the violet flame. And those of you that maybe are new here, maybe you're not, but you don't know I have a YouTube, I did a whole chakra series, root to crown, fully channeled. They all have kind of a different spark to them, and they have a different outfit on each of them, but they're really, really super powerful. And I noticed that some people like seem to favor the heart chakra meditative healing and one of the other ones, but if you've done any one of them, please do all of them so that you can stay in balance. So Archangel Zadkiel, it is time for transmutation. Carry the violet flame. Wonderful, all of them. Thank you, Brandy. So, okay. Let me see what Zadkiel is. Zadkiel is kind of like, I'm seeing like violet flame energy that's going through and around all of these looping patterns that you all are holding. Seems like kind of a lot. Yeah. So if you would like, you can say, Archangel Zadkiel, please assist me with alchemizing any looping patterns I carry. I'll say that again. You can just say this within yourself or say, I'm letting Bree speak for me. Archangel Zadkiel, please alchemize all loops I currently carry. And I'm even asking this question inside of myself, like, are there good loops? And they said no. No, a loop is a loop. A loop is something that is just a regurgitation of the same thing over and over and over and over and over. It's not helping you. Some of these loops can even turn into distractions. So just go ahead and ask, Archangel Zadkiel, please alchemize any loops I currently carry. Thank you. Loops can turn into bad habits or addiction if not attended to, if not addressed, if not caught. The loops kind of start innocently. Like the loops start subtly. That's why I'm always guiding you to really be aware of what's going on in your own noggin. Really be aware of what's going on up there, because sometimes those sneaky limiting thoughts, they come in and they're subtle at first. It's just like a subtle thing. I would rather you address the subtle thing before it becomes this loop that has picked up steam and turned into an engine. So, and also know that these loops are like little ants, and Archangel Zadkiel can help you. Allow the violet flame to alchemize any of this that might be present for you. And then I'm going to do a little aura cleanse before we end it today. So, and let me just convene with the guides really quick and see if they have anything else. Can you change astro signs? It's funny you said that, because I have a very different natal chart from my NDE than my birth one, and it's helped me understand myself a lot more powerfully. So we're going to do a little bit of clearing. But in my perspective, the only time you're going to change your natal chart is if you're having an NDE. Wouldn't encourage it. Well, Melanie, this one's going to be in the Lightworker Toolkit. And those of you that really are Lightworkers, I would encourage you in there. You know, there's a lot of stuff out there for Lightworkers that's a little rigid. I'm here to help keep it a little bit playful and a little soft for you. We can enjoy these processes. We don't have to have it all be... It's not all shadow work, okay? Not all shadow work. Gemini loops are not the easiest. Okay. Do you have multiple Gemini placements other than... What's your rising sign? If your sun sign is Gemini, I'd like to know what your rising sign is. Because your kind of gateway and your healing through this is going to be to embrace your rising sign. Aries. You got to embrace the Aries so you can burn some of that air out. You're rising into... So your higher self... Let me just channel about the astrology a little bit. There are some demons in the space. Looks like we've got one calling himself out. So let me see here. When people demonize sage, I just want to say, stop it. Just like, for real? You know, like when ancient times, like when there was births or deaths or anything, like pretty much spiritual, they'd get sage in there because it's powerful and it goes across the veil. Hey, cheap waffles. Be blessed, my good friend. I love blocking people these days. It's fun. It's fun for me. He did break my train of thought. Does anybody know where I was? At least the sage took care of that jerk that just decided to be a jerk and got blocked permanently. Astrology, that's right. Okay. I'm back. Okay, so sun sign. We clear the auras so we can actually get into the soulful stuff. Your sun sign is going to be what shows up for you that is your ego. Your rising sign is going to be the embodiment of you that is your higher self. So if you feel like your ego has been problematic, I would look at these two things. And then if you're a double, so if you're both, if you have the same sign for your sun sign and your rising sign, you came here for mastery. You came here for mastery if they match. Because you came here to really deeply heal the collective. Okay, so let me see here. And then it's like you don't go to your natal chart to like figure out who you are. Sag, we got a double. Okay. That makes so much sense about you, Brandy. You're here for a big mission. Rising Aquarius. And Aquarius is all, it's very futuristic, Aquarius. Aquarius does before it's acceptable to do. Aquarius is like the one that kind of breaks the mold. So, the sacred rebel, we can call this. Cap, wow. Okay. That is a very, very advanced placement. Very, very advanced placement because both of those are, because it's fixed. I'm pretty sure Cap is a fixed. That's the other thing to look at. If they're fixed, mutable, or, what's the other one? Because that'll tell you a lot about yourself too. Like if you have a fixed sun sign and you feel like you're kind of rigid, it's kind of why. So you got to work with some of the other, if you do have a fixed sun sign, you need to figure out where your mutables are and then kind of lean into the mutables. I'm totally channeling, so I hope this is making sense to those of you that go into this sort of thing. But they're saying if the fixedness is kind of like creating some problems for you, lean into your mutable placements. So find where you have a mutable placement. Okay, so that's moving on from the astrology. So what they're showing me about astrology is that this will just help us understand ourselves as a human. So it's like your natal chart, your divine soul blueprint, like these are the pre-selected aspects of who you are in this life that your higher self indicated for you. So when you can kind of understand the roadmap that you set up for yourself through your natal chart, you can understand your challenges more. You can understand what areas that you're meant to grow in more. You can understand your own emotional body more. You can understand your mental body more. So if you want to figure out about your mental body, take a look at your Mercury placement. If you want to find out about your emotional body, look at your Venus placement. If you want to figure out how you work when it comes to friction and kind of warring energies, check your Mars placement. If you want to lean more into your joy, your expansion, check your Jupiter placement. Check these things because that way you're going to help to understand and fine-tune why you are the way you are. And I wouldn't encourage you to try to be someone you're not. I would encourage you to know yourself. Every single solid sacred teaching is going to have a fundamental leg in the simple concept of know thyself. Just know thyself. Get to know yourself. Make this life a fun reunion that you get to have with this version of you. Love it. Love on it. Have fun with it. Be curious about it. Oh, I'm always, this is my habit that I want to break, or this is my pattern I want to break, or this is my tendency or whatever that I can't seem to sort out, or I can't seem to heal, or I can't seem to shift. Well, take that process of learning and curiosity of why those things are. Look up your natal chart. Get some clarity. It's not going to be like you look at it and everything's fixed forever and you're like, ha, I figured out the human thing. Yeah, I got this. I'll never have to meditate again. Sweet. Yeah. No, it's not like that. These are things that you're doing to better navigate this life. Okay, and I want to grab one card from this deck that's over here and I have to read. I'm just going to see if there's any messages for us in here. Woo! Oh my gosh, so many. They want me to show them all. Ah! Okay. Okay. We're just going to go through these very generally. Create your own meanings. We have Divine Union, which is a 2 of clubs. Divine Union. This is the message that when you can, your masculine and feminine energy, when they are unified within you, and you are grounded, and you don't feel this warring energy between your masculine and your feminine, they are just operating as one. They're singing in the kitchen together. They're just making everything so nice. They're working together. They're complimenting each other. Oh, they're so cute in there. Yeah, that's divine union. Okay? And you don't need a partner for that. This is within yourself. Divine union, having this locked in, heaven on earth. Okay? Very fun. The bloom, which is an 8 of clubs. So the bloom is when you have your 8th dimensional embodiment here in this body. And you're blooming. You're blooming. It's like flower, 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 flower. And soon they're going to be fruits. Cool. And then we have Akashic Light. 7 of, look at this, all clubs. Nuts. Clubs are wands, I think, in the tarot. Akashic Light, 7 of clubs. So Akashic Light is when you have your Akashic embodiment here in the physical. When you're accessing from your Akashic Light, your multidimensional soul light, pretty fun time on the earth plane. Pretty fun time. Present moment, which is a 4 of hearts. So the way that we're going to stay solid and feeling pretty good as the earth is like turning into something totally new before our very eyes, we're going to find the present moment in the heart chakra, the 4th chakra. Present moment. Also, this is like a little bit of a caveat to this, but if you feel like you're not finding the present moment, I would encourage you to go to your dreams, your sleep time, and set some intentions with your sleep time. Like maybe you're feeling like, maybe I'm reading the Akashic Records here, but maybe you're feeling like I never feel present. I'm always in the future, I'm always in the past, or I'm always worrying, or I'm always in doubt, or I'm always busy-minded, or whatever. Before you go to sleep, have a little powwow within yourself and share this with like your higher self, with Source, with God. Share this. I'm struggling with these things. I would really like to be more present, but I'm struggling. I don't feel like I'm ever present. I don't know what to do. I need help with this. During my sleep, I really want to work on this so that tomorrow when I wake up, I can have more presence. And then if you feel a shift from that, let's say like the day after you do that, you're feeling more present. Okay, mental note, maybe do it again for 7 nights. Or as long as you feel you need to until it's fully locked in. The time you're sleeping is gold. Utilize it. Utilize it. Be specific. Maybe it's a relationship that needs healing. Maybe it's like you don't know where you want to go in life. You don't know what exercise routine to do. You don't know what job to do. You don't know where to go. You don't know where to live. Any of these, like, I don't know. Okay, well, offer that up. Talk to God or Source or your higher power like they're a trusted being that has your best interest, because they do, and explain to them what you're experiencing and say, during my sleep tonight, I want help with this. I want to improve upon this. Or maybe you're feeling like, I'm still really resistant to judgment. I feel like every time I'm judged, I go back to square one and I have to start the healing process over again. Tell that to Spirit. And say, when I go to sleep, I want to get better at this. I want to get better with judgment. I want to understand judgment. So that when I keep getting judged by people, I can understand right there, live time, in the moment that this isn't a judgment about me. This is a judgment they house about themselves. And now it's being projected at me. And wow, oh, I've been projected on my whole life. I really want to release this. When I go to sleep tonight, I want to release all these wounds around judgment. Middle way. It's a 3 of clubs. Middle way. So when none of this is working, when all of this seems like crap, and you're like, shut up, Bree. This is also lame. None of this actually works. It's time to come back to the middle way. It's time to come back to the middle way. Aha, this is duality. I'm witnessing duality. How can I unify? How can I view maybe these volatile emotions, volatile thoughts from the observer and find the middle way so I can stop warring within. These wars externally, it's a reflection of within. So how do we address the wars in the world? We address the wars within. Where are you fighting yourself? Find the middle way. And then blissful closure, which is a 9 of clubs. And wow, was 2025 a year of blissful closure. It's a 9 year. So many things are completing. So many things are closing out. So many things are finding closure. So many things that are 3D are now released. Released. They're not even there anymore. So right now, when you're in this nice, loving love nest with everyone here that's really doing the work and really pure-hearted, see where, and really, really go in yourself for this. Where am I still gripping the 3D? Ask yourself this. Where am I still attached to the 3D, to separation consciousness, to victim consciousness, to division consciousness, to hierarchical consciousness, to lack consciousness? Where am I still clutching the 3D? And then invite yourself to some softening. I'm not asking you to drop it all right now and put it all down right now. But find those areas where you are clutching the 3D, just loosen your grip a little. Just a little. And whatever came up for you, I would encourage you all, if you have a journal or maybe on some notes on your phone, whatever you're clutching that was the 3D, set an intention before bed to release it. And it's not like you're releasing it permanently. You're unplugging from this 3D perspective and you're plugging back in at the 5D perspective. So it's none of these things are like Xing them out, or it's not the world is splitting in two and it's like bad earth, good earth, and stay away from the bad earth. No, that's not what we're doing. We're unifying and we're converging. So it's acceptance, it's grace, it's love, it's forgiveness, it's patience, and it's coming back to the middle way again and again and again. Really, wow. When they dropped out so many cards, I was like, ooh, this is going to be fun. And the number is 934782. I don't know why I said that like that. It felt like it was like someone's like passcode or something. Don't tell us if that's your passcode. Okay, so are there any questions to close this out today? Any questions? We all go and make this our passcode. 91010. I have been seeing triple of these numbers all weekend. Wow, that's weird. Spirit. Really triangulating some things here. Oh, so cool. Okay, so no questions. I'll be back on Friday at 9 a.m. I don't know. I really wasn't planning on coming yesterday or today, so it's just it's a trust walk for me, and I'm really grateful that all of you were able to make it. And trying to catch our breath. A lot came through today, for sure. And then this will be in the Lightworker Toolkit. And I hope that you all enjoyed this day and received a little bit more of yourself. Let's take one deep breath together. Hold, hold, and release. Thank you for joining, everyone. I appreciate you. Be sure to hydrate, and namaste.